calling me now. And that's the problem that I have with this whole situation. But I am going to save this conversation for Jay Z. Jay Z, you're watching. I know you're watching because you got people calling me. Stop having people call me. You can call me yourself. You know how to get my number. You know you got people calling me. Call me yourself, because this right here is going to go viral. The way my job works on the internet, everybody's going to be clipping, sharing on TikTok. Watch this.
In 2025, the fairytale marriage of Beyoncé and Jay Z was exposed as a lie, not by tabloids, but by the man who claims Jay Z forced his own wife into private acts with Ray J while he watched. Jonathan Hay, Rihanna's former publicist, didn't mince words. Jay Z made Ray J blow Beyoncé out as he touched himself, he told reporters, in what's now being called the first credible crack in the Carter dynasty. And before anyone could dismiss Hay as just another industry mouth, it's worth remembering this is the same man who nearly took Jay down a decade ago with the Rihanna affair story, then publicly walked it back under what he now admits was legal pressure. He says he lied to save himself. This time he's not backing down.
Beyoncé for sure. I love her. I love Beyoncé. Jay Z too, I really admire the both.
But this isn't just infidelity. These are allegations of orchestrated encounters, public-facing superstars engaging in private performances eerily similar to what prosecutors outlined in Diddy's 2025 trafficking trial. The same setup, the same tactics, and, if insiders are right, the same hidden cameras. Freak-offs, they called them in court, a sanitized term for what Diddy's lawyers failed to defend. Women forced into filmed scenes with male performers under the pretense of power and fame. The setup is familiar. And if Hay is to be believed, Jay Z borrowed from the same playbook, right down to using Ray J as the chosen participant. And here's the first real bombshell. Hay isn't the only one talking. Ray J himself, once fiercely loyal to the Carters, walked into TMZ this year and said out loud what many insiders were only whispering. Celebrities, he claimed, are paying off Diddy's alleged victims to keep their names clear. Catch and silence. Ray J didn't name names, but Harvey Levin didn't need to. TMZ, the same outlet airing Ray J's testimony, is also rumored to be the top bidder for the Beyoncé Ray J tapes now quietly circulating in Hollywood. If those tapes exist, they're not just collateral damage, they're currency. And right now, someone's paying, but rewind, because this wasn't Ray J's first rodeo defending the Carters. Back in 2023, he went on Piers Morgan's show and unloaded on Jaguar Wright, who had accused Jay Z of manipulating Beyoncé. Beyoncé has never done nothing to nobody, Ray barked, visibly furious. Fast forward 2 years, and he's on TMZ confessing that A-listers are running hush campaigns behind the scenes. So, what changed? Why did Ray J flip? One answer, legal pressure. According to insiders, Jay Z's legal team has been sending threat letters like clockwork, trying to block the sale of those tapes. But they haven't succeeded, because even now, they're still being quietly shopped.
I guess that's what the whole name bad boy comes from, that people don't really understand. What is it? What is a bad boy? Why did he choose that name?
And that's where the Diddy connection goes from footnote to foundation. In 2025, federal agents raided both of Diddy's mansions, Los Angeles and Miami. What they found lined up exactly with Hazy's description of Jay Z's world. Hidden rooms, surveillance setups, and an entire closet full of freak-off supplies. Piles of enhancement substances, thousands of bottles of lubricant, and rows of cameras. That raid also turned up dozens of recorded sessions with celebrities and anonymous participants. And yes, some of those tapes are already confirmed to include high-profile names. So, if Diddy's footage was damning enough to get him sentenced, the obvious question becomes, what's on Beyoncé? Meanwhile, another layer surfaced, one that doesn't involve tapes at all. It involves control. Jaguar Wright, former backup singer turned whistleblower, went on Piers Morgan in 2024 and called Jay Z a monster. Her words were explicit. He pumped substances down Beyoncé's throat to control her. Jaguar didn't hedge, she didn't say allegedly, she said it like she lived it. Wright, whose past accusations against Common and Diddy have since gained traction, claimed Beyoncé is more prisoner than wife. She's not allowed to make a choice for herself. She told the world, and in her view, this isn't about desire or betrayal. This is about domination. And the footage, if it exists, is the proof. The timeline is damning. Beyoncé and Jay Z began dating when she was 18. Internet sleuths argue he was grooming her even earlier, when she was just 16, while already a fully grown icon immersed in rivalries and fame. They didn't marry until 2008, when Beyoncé was 27, but the power dynamic was never equal. Jay was her first adult partner. He was her mentor, her producer, her protector, and now possibly her manipulator. Uncle Ron, a former bodyguard, echoed the same story on TikTok. The marriage was a transaction, not a romance. There's no love there, he said, and his claim didn't stand alone for long.
How do you know I'm not a gangster, or used to be a gangster? I've been in the music industry for 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, the industry's filled with gangsters.
Back it up with Ray J again. In 2025, he told TMZ that he's received dozens of calls from celebrities connected to Diddy's inner circle, not victims' names. High-profile people begging him to keep their stories quiet, offering money to stay silent. They call me, they feel like they can trust me, Ray J said. When Harvey Levin asked if these names were trying to keep their affiliations from going public, Ray J didn't hesitate. Exactly, he said, and then he shut down. I don't even know why I just said it, but I said it, so what? They're gonna be mad. Come get me. No denial, just fear. And the irony? Ray J may be the most truthful person in the room. His own history with Diddy is messy. He's been to the infamous parties. He's defended Diddy on TV. But since the raids, since the charges, since the indictments, his tone has changed. Now, he's dropping breadcrumbs. And it's not just the Carters in his path. According to Tony Busby, the attorney representing Diddy's victims, more than a dozen celebrities have already received demand letters. Some have paid, some haven't. But the list is growing. And as Busby warned back in October, the accomplice list will shock the public.
Weirdo. I don't get no what you got in your head, that neural link. You'll never outthink me. Ever.
And yet, if the Carters were truly innocent, why move so aggressively to shut everything down? Why hire digital forensics to clean old servers? Why issue pre-litigation threats to TMZ? And why are tapes still leaking? A 2025 whistleblower from Inside Rock Nation claims there were multiple cleanups ordered internally, hard drive wipes, NDA renewals, and retroactive hush payments. But nothing worked. Because if the tapes are real and they've reached the buyers, they're already out of control. All of this, meanwhile, echoes another voice from the past. Jaguar Wright wasn't the only one calling out Jay Z. In earlier years, Wendy, while her show went dark, publicly alleged that Jay had romantic ties to Foxy Brown back when she was barely legal. In her words, we know, we know. And while some dismissed it as gossip, others pointed to Jay's history of working closely with younger performers and dating women with wide age gaps. Add that to the rumor mill surrounding his behavior with Aaliyah before Dame Dash stepped in, and a pattern begins to form.
If you're a halfway intelligent person, when do you start questioning how lucky some keep getting?
Right.
And then came the claim no one saw coming. Jonathan Hay, the same PR strategist who once fabricated a Rihanna affair story to hurt Jay Z, now says the original story was true, that he retracted it only under legal threats. That Jay Z transported Rihanna from overseas while she was still underage, that federal agents contacted him to help with what they were calling a trafficking investigation. Not a smear campaign, not industry gossip, a federal inquiry into whether Jay was bringing underage performers into the US for personal access. Hay says there were more. He says Rihanna was just one name on the list. That's the part that shifts this story from scandal to system. Because if Jay Z really borrowed Diddy's blueprint, private recordings, substance-fueled parties, unwilling participants, then this isn't just marital dysfunction. This is RICO territory. And it wouldn't be the first time his name showed up in someone else's trial. Court transcripts from Diddy's hearings include redacted witness statements referring to an unnamed mogul who watched encounters without participating, but who facilitated them. No names were mentioned, but the timeline overlaps.
But after that major documentary comes out on Diddy, then you're going to start to hear more and more about Jay Z and his nefarious.
The final clue came from Ariel Mitchell Kidd, the attorney who claims she was recently approached to represent someone in selling a tape, one that allegedly shows Diddy with another celebrity, someone she says is more high profile than Diddy. She wouldn't say the name, but she confirmed the footage is real, that stills were shown, that the scene was private and explicit, and that the other person didn't know they were being recorded. The industry went into speculation mode instantly. Only a few people fit that description, and one of them is Beyoncé. But even that might not be the most damning piece, because according to insiders who were present at the early Rockefeller negotiations, Jay Z's business empire, clothing, concerts, and even collaborations was protected by enforcing silence. One of those insiders, Greg Taylor, told a story that's become legend. $1 million check offered by Dame Dash, only for Pimp C to allegedly respond, tell him to give it to Shakur's mama. That check was for the Big Pimpin' collab. That tape, according to another source, included footage of Beyoncé and Pimp C that never saw the light of day, because Jay made sure it didn't. What happened to Pimp C not long after, some say wasn't an accident. According to DJ Paul, Pimp was found in a position resembling prayer, bloodied and alone. The whispers around that story haven't stopped since.
I want you to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce.
And the rumors didn't end with Pimp. Cypher Sounds, former DJ from Mos Def, says he personally saw Beyonce and Mos acting unusually close during a London trip. Around the same time, multiple insiders suggested Jay Z was locking down every leak, starting with former Destiny's Child staff. One ex-handler claims Beyonce had zero autonomy in that period, told when to sleep, what to eat, even who to see, that she was a product, not a person. And that's why some now call her relationship with Jay less of a marriage and more of a contract. The answer might lie in what happened next, a chain reaction of legal threats, leaked footage, and a marriage that's starting to look like a hostage situation. Because after Jonathan Hayes' 2025 allegation landed like a missile, something strange happened behind the scenes. Phone calls, letters, cease and desists. Multiple industry insiders say Jay Z's legal team went into overdrive the moment the Beyoncé Ray J tapes were mentioned publicly, not because it was just scandalous, but because it mirrored what Diddy was convicted of earlier that same year. In that courtroom, prosecutors laid bare the mechanics of the so-called freak-offs, high-profile men coercing women into scenes with male performers, often under surveillance, sometimes with substances involved. It was subjugation disguised as glamour, and Hayes' allegation that Jay stood in the corner watching Beyoncé with Ray J sounds dangerously familiar. Just like Diddy, Jay Z has a long track record of silencing the people who know too much. Back in 2024, Jaguar Wright said he pressured her to retract claims about his behavior, specifically his alleged affair with a then underage Rihanna. She didn't deny being threatened, she just said, "I was told to keep quiet and I did for a while." Now she's saying Jay is doing the same thing to bury these tapes. According to Wright, he's using money, legal firepower, and threats to shut down every possible leak before they hit the internet. And the sad part is, it might be working. So far, no footage has surfaced, but if the tapes are already in circulation, how long can that last? But here's where it gets darker. Because if these tapes exist, they don't just show infidelity. They show a pattern. Uncle Ron, the former Carter family bodyguard who went viral in 2024, claimed that Beyoncé's relationship with Jay Z was never based on love. According to him, Jay bought her from her father, a transaction, a career move. And if that's true, then we have to ask, why would Jay Z allow his wife to sleep with Ray J on camera? Was it manipulation, a twisted form of control, or was it part of the original arrangement, a clause in a much darker contract? Ron called the marriage a business deal, not a bond. He said Beyoncé never had full control over her choices, that she was watched 24/7, fed what she was told, dressed by committee. In his words, she is not her husband's wife, she is his employee.
I know so much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people.
And that brings us back to Diddy, because when the judge sentenced him in 2025, he didn't use soft language. He said Diddy's so-called relationships were subjugation, that he used power, pressure, and manipulation to force others into compliance. Does that sound familiar? Because if Jay Z's empire was built the same way, on power plays masked as partnerships, then this scandal isn't about infidelity at all. It's about systemic exploitation hiding in plain sight.
And I have to still say allegedly, has done things and allegedly participated in a lot of things that the public would not be happy to know.
And the stakes are climbing fast, because if these tapes ever surface, it's not just Beyoncé's image that takes a hit. It's Jay Z's entire empire, his music rights, his streaming deals, his real estate, his political clout. Multiple insiders say the chatter behind closed doors is already frantic. Publicists are calling lawyers, executives are flagging breach clauses, and yes, TMZ is bidding. According to a source familiar with the negotiations, the footage involving Ray J and Beyoncé is being dangled to the highest bidder, with figures reaching into the 7-digit range. And the scariest part? Ray J basically confirmed this himself. In that TMZ interview, he said celebrities are paying off Diddy's victims not because they're innocent, but because they're afraid. People do catch and silences all day, he said. Somebody has the truth, somebody pays to keep it quiet. That's not a metaphor. That's a confession. But if you think this is only about one tape, think again. Because the same week Hay went public, another rumor surfaced. One even older and even more dangerous. A second tape. This one involving Beyoncé and Pimp C. Now, the whispers about this go way back, but what changed in 2025 was a resurfaced claim by multiple Houston insiders who say Pimp C was about to go public with footage of him and Beyoncé in a compromising scene until he was found in his hotel room, reportedly in a praying position, blood everywhere, days before the supposed leak. DJ Paul of 3-6 Mafia said the whole thing felt staged, too clean, too symbolic, and now people are asking if Jay Z stepped in to make sure that footage never saw daylight. The context here matters, because according to Dame Dash, Jay Z was always bitter about Dame dating Aaliyah, someone Jay also pursued. And yet, years later, Jay Z recorded 2 albums with R. Kelly, the same man who illegally married Aaliyah when she was just 15. Dame called it betrayal, said he wanted nothing to do with the money. In his words, they did that twice. It raises a question that no one at Roc Nation seems willing to answer. Why does Jay Z keep gravitating toward men with troubling pasts?
Really a conspiracy if the same person keeps benefiting off the same kind of tragedy over and over.
And then there's the matter of the Illuminati. We usually brush that off as internet nonsense, but when Diddy's son King Combs was seen walking outside the LA mansion wearing sweatpants with the Illuminati pyramid logo, on the same day the feds raided Diddy's home, people started connecting dots. Jay Z has been accused for years of using triangle hand signs during performances, and Beyoncé's videos have long been dissected for hidden symbols. Are they really part of something bigger, or are they just flaunting the power they think they've bought? What we know is this: the power is slipping. The moment Hay went public, something cracked in the industry. Veteran insiders started whispering, old staffers started talking. Files that were once locked down are now quietly changing hands, and with every leak, the Carters lose another inch of control. Because if even one of these tapes becomes public record, whether it's with Ray J, Pimp C, or someone we don't even know yet, it won't just tarnish their image. It will rewrite the entire story we've been sold for 20 years. And the biggest question still hangs in the air. How many tapes are out there? Is Beyoncé the only one, or are we just scratching the surface of a whole library of compromised stars who attended the same parties, signed the same NDAs, and walked into rooms where the cameras never stopped rolling? We've seen how fast reputations collapse in this business, but this isn't just a personal scandal. This is a crisis of credibility for a couple who built their brand on perfection, loyalty, and power. And if the footage proves that even that was a performance, then the real story is just beginning. So what happens when the curtain drops? When the names are named? When the deals fall apart? Because right now, a handful of people in LA and New York are holding evidence that could detonate careers overnight. And Jay Z, for all his influence, may not be able to stop the countdown. We're watching the implosion of a myth in real time. A billionaire couple reduced to leaks, threats, and whispers they can't control. But before you go, ask yourself this: what happens when the biggest name in music can't buy silence anymore? If these tapes are real, if the power games were scripted from the start, then who's really pulling the strings behind Beyoncé? And how long have we been watching the performance without seeing the trap? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because the next tape might already be on its way. Stay alert, stay curious, and we'll see you when the next secret spills.